I grew up in New York, and because of that, I feel like I'm pretty good at knowing when I'm going to get scammed and when people are trying to, do something they're not supposed to be. So I don't usually fall for it, except for this one time. Let me tell you about how I got scammed in New Orleans semi-recently. Let's start off on why I was in New Orleans in the first place. I haven't really ever been to comedy shows or anything like that before. So when I saw that Theo was going to be performing in New Orleans, the wife and I jumped on it. We got tickets to go see it. It was really exciting. I hadn't been to New Orleans before, and neither had she, so it was a fun little trip. It's gonna be like 2 days. It was a good time. Kicked it off with doing the southern staple of going to Raising Cane's. Now, I've been in Georgia for a while, and then also Florida, so I've been to a Zaxby's, which, after going to the Raising Cane's, I still think that they are not that great. I prefer Zaxby's by a long shot. I feel like they've just got their sauce down. If you have a good sauce, you can kind of just have mid-tier chicken and it's fine. So yeah, Raising Cane's pretty good. Don't recommend going there a second time, but it was alright. After that, took us a while to actually get into the city of New Orleans. We are pretty big museum folk. If there's a museum to see and it's got interesting stuff and decent-ish reviews, we're gonna go. So they have this really cool, pharmacy museum there. I strongly recommend going if you ever get the chance to head down to New Orleans. It's really cool. It's got 3 different levels. The first is a pretty neat gift shop, which if you sell stickers and they're good stickers, I'm buying it and I'm putting it on my water bottle. Second floor is a museum, like a regular museum. Third floor as well. And they have this neat little courtyard area behind where the museum is. So, like I said, really cool. You should go. Plus, seeing all of the different stuff in jars. I don't know what's in the jars, but it looks like medicine and just herbs. Yeah, it looks like medicine and just herbs. Only downside about going there was this was the point where I started to feel just kind of sick-ish. Not incredibly sick by any means, not like vomiting or anything like that. Just my head felt warm and I just felt off. You know that kind of feeling you get when you're sick where you're just like, everything feels just like a little to the left. Nothing's quite the way that it should be. And I was feeling it. It's hot. So I was just assuming that I was kind of having the heat get to me. I was coughing a little bit, but also I just don't have the best lungs at this point. So I just thought, probably just the city being kind of city. And I wasn't feeling great because of it. So no reason to be alarmed. We'll just rest in the hotel for a few hours, and then we'll head over to the concert or venue, whatever. We're going to go see Theo perform. I put on a nice shirt. The wife is dressed up too. We start walking over there because it's not far by any means. It's like maybe 6 blocks. And I'm not feeling it. I'm getting worse every step. And I feel my face getting hot. But in my head, I'm rationalizing it like, oh, well, it's definitely because I have a buttoned up shirt on. I'm wearing 2 shirts right now. That's why I'm feeling sick. 2 shirts are not good. So we get inside. It's AC. I'm feeling a little bit better. Not great, but just a little bit better. I go get a White Claw. I think we split it. I don't really remember drinking a whole lot. We sit on the edge of the seats, kind of like by the aisle on the far left side, and it's just nice because I can get out of there easily, and I don't feel cramped. I don't want to feel cramped and sticky and just gross. I don't want to do that. And luckily, we are both not very social people, so we're naturally gonna just plan on exiting as soon as the last joke is said. They had 3 openers. The first one was pretty good. Second was really good. Third was crushing it. I was chortling. I was having a grand old time. I wasn't feeling too bad anymore. So then Theo comes up. He performs. Great set. Had a fantastic time. Then we're done. Start walking back. It's now nighttime. I think it's late. It's almost 10:30 at this point. And I'm starving because I think we had a drink and we hadn't eaten since the Raising Cane's for lunch. So I was a little hungry. I was still kind of warm and I was wearing 2 shirts. So we go back to the hotel and we're struggling to figure out what we're going to do. Because I'm definitely not going to hop in the car and drive around a place I'm not doing that. Especially not in a city that I'm unfamiliar with. That just sounds like a headache that I don't need to be partaking in. I don't want to do that. So we're scouring all of Google Maps, trying to figure out where is going to be open and serve food that we both like. Now, we're from New York. Pizza is like a solid staple that you can find anywhere, and we can be hypercritical of it and just be snobby New Yorkers and in peace in our hotel room, not bothering anybody. So we do that. We go ahead, find somewhere, buy a pizza, and then start walking. It's a far walk for someone who is not feeling good. It's like 6 blocks out of the way. There's a lot of people partying. I'm not a party type. I don't want to do that. Neither does my wife. So we're going across all of these streets. People are drinking a ton. Eventually, we find our place. It's a bar, kinda, where we're getting this pizza at. We sit down and we start waiting. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. It takes 45 minutes for us to even get our pizza to go. We were going back to the hotel. I didn't want to sit there for another 45 minutes, just sitting there eating pizza, and I didn't want to drink anymore. I don't know how it took that long. It was one pizza. At some point, we had to be like, hey, are you aware that we submitted this order a while ago? What I think happened was the person that kind of checked us in saw that we were sitting down and, I don't know, just clocked out because we just didn't get served for, 45 minutes. Eventually, a second person walks by and I just make intense, uncomfortable eye contact with them until they ask me, hey, how can we help you? And say, hey, we've been sitting here for like a little bit. Can you just check to see if our pizza is done? And it is. It's been done for a while. It's a little cold. So we pick up pizza, start heading back. I'm not feeling super hot. Eat our pizza, go to bed, new day. Now, her and I were very excited about trying beignets. We have a friend that's from Louisiana, and they told us, hey, go to this place, try these beignets here. It'll be a good time. So we do that. Walk through the French Quarter. I am not okay. I am deeply uncomfortable. At this point, fully sick. I feel just foggy and hot, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Trying to follow these directions to this place walking is not great. And we get our little beignets. We only get 3 of them because I didn't realize it was a cash-only business. And we sit behind this building, and we're scarfing them down. And here's what happens. A man in some orange robes comes up, and he sees as I'm about to just start throwing away my trash, he like kind of grabs my wrist and then puts these beads on it, and I'm so out of it. And luckily, my very lovely wife was like, we don't want it, and started to like pull it off of my hand and hand it back to him. And he just started saying donation, donation. And since I'm hardly awake at this point, I don't even think I'm on the same realm of existence as these 2 other individuals next to me. It could have been anyone else. I just gave them $5, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. So then I just gave him 2, and he just kind of frowned at me. Yeah, I didn't want the beaded bracelets, but he looked kind. I don't know. He had a shaved head. He was wearing orange. People don't wear orange in public unless they're safe. Apparently, he's a real monk. Apparently, this is a thing that happens all across the country. I've never encountered this scam. I've seen plenty of mixtapes being forced in my hands that I've never accepted. But, yeah. If you see that happen, don't partake. If you want to keep your dollars, just keep them to yourself. Don't accept anything. Don't let people put beads on you. That was really a bad idea on my part. I know I wasn't thinking clearly, but that was... Oh my god, dude. Why would I do that? That's kind of dangerous that I just let someone come up and grab my hand. Thank God I have my wife there that's just present enough. I suppose my final takeaway is this. If you get the option to go to see any sort of comedy show, Theo, not that bad. The openers weren't too bad. Honestly, comedy shows in general are very fun to attend. And if you have the option to, go. If you go to New Orleans, get some beignets. They're pretty good. They're kind of like funnel cakes, that type of doughy pastry, whatnot. Big fan. And if you see a monk who is aggressively putting beads on people, it's not a donation. He is trying to rip you off. They definitely didn't cost $5. But you know, just don't do it. I think you'll be fine. Just be present in the moment. If you're not feeling well, don't go outside and explore a city. So just like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.